this off for the first 10 minutes of the broadcast. I'm so sorry. I was just talking. I know. And I actually said a lot of things there that could have. Anyway, let's make it this way. I'll make it sharp now. You see all the images I shown to you earlier. Those were the victims of the Owo massacre. Okay. They were those that were buried today. And unfortunately, their own killers have not really been found, and they are likely never going to be found. So what I was saying all of that time where you and I said, you see all those people and the names I read out earlier. I'm so sorry you didn't hear all I read out. So anyway, let's continue. So the sound is back, I believe. Please confirm if your own sound is back, and you can even like come off it. Tell people to come off the what do you don't worry, I'll repeat everything, but first thing first, right? Let's get ourselves back first. Okay, let me get all of you back into the whole thing. Okay, if you are not probably hearing the sound again, read the comment. The sound is back. You can come off the broadcast either on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, wherever you're watching from right now. Even if you are listening right now on through the Diaspora Radio International, you can come off it and go back in. Okay, and the sound should be better then. I am so sorry. So sorry, 100%. So you see those pictures I was showing you earlier, right? Those are the victims. They have names. Those are the people who also had dreams. They had aspirations. They had hopes like you. They had things that they were planning, just like you and I right now. Well, what happened? They went into the presence of their Lord, right, to pray. Some to give thanks for at least sustaining them after all they've been through in the hand of Nigeria, especially in the last 7 years. But what happened? They met their death, including children. So if you pay attention to, if you pay deeper attention to that, which is what I do, right? That could be me. It could be you. It could be any one of us. And guess what? If you pay attention to the majority of those killed there, majority of them who are living there in Ondo State with the names and all of that, you will tell that they are not. They all come from somewhere, which is the Biafra. Now, what happened in that sense, if you take out every other identification that has to do with the victims first, just look at it this way and say human beings who had dreams, who had hopes, who had all of that. And what happened? Nigeria failed them. And as you are watching this video, right, it doesn't really matter anymore whether you are a Christian, a Muslim, a rich man, a poor man, educated, illiterate, APC, PDP, or wherever you belong to. Yeah. You and I are just a victim waiting to happen, a disaster waiting to happen. Because we have been pretty much set up in a system that is put together to what? To exterminate us. That is what Nigeria's system is. A system that says if you try to say, the major problem is this. Many of us are ignoring the fundamental structural, defects, which is the foundation that they are currently trying to hold this wobbly one Nigeria. So many of us who have been pretty much like so concerned wanted to treat the problem from the surface. We know all the problems. We know this, we know that. Let's do this, let's do that. But listen, you are ignoring the base, which is the basis of the real problem, for just the periphery of the whole problem, like your politicians are doing. And I also said, now you have a movement, a very, very big one that many people are trying to understand, Peter Obi movement. And it is about, we need to change God, we need to take back our country, we need to do this and that. But I said something as well, which we all missed because I was muted by you. I said, the situation we have found ourselves, if we have to be honest and be truthful to ourselves, right? You can tell why there are so many agitation for, no, we don't want to be part of this Nigeria anymore. Because number one, look at those killed in the war. Like those who were killed in the Gongon, like those who were kidnapped right there in Wasimi, and those who have been killed and kidnapped right now in Yewa. Most of these victims, which could be you, which could be me, which could be any one of us, especially in Yoruba land, those who are being killed in Enugu, those who are being killed in Ebonyi, kidnapped in Enugu, kidnapped in Nowiri, and the rest of them, right? If you look at the perpetrators, which has now pushed many of us to the precipice of no, we are done. Terrorists from the Sahel. Sahel, the distance from Sahel, Chad, Lake Chad, as they are claiming, Lake Chad, Mali, Niger Republic, Libya. If you see the distance from those places to a war, because those who killed or who come in and walk in and just like a slaughter, kidnap, do whatever they can and get away with them, right? The government of Nigeria told us that they are not Nigerians. So the first question is, look at that distance to Owo, to Igangan. There is no part of southern Nigeria, any part so far, that you can say share border with Niger, share borders with Libya, share border with all these people who are like coming to commit all this massacre. So I said, for those who want to probably make any difference and not just reactionary, emotionally, and all of that to what Nigeria has become, they will really want to pay attention very well. You will realize that those who contributed to the problem, those who made the problem, they can never be part of the solution. Ever. And the way you have found yourselves today, many of you are not paying attention. So as we last few days, they were talking about Muslim ticket for Tifnumbu. Then some Afars came out and they said they must never bring any Igbo man or any Igbo candidate to northern Nigeria as candidate, as presidential candidate, or as a vice presidential candidate. And in fact, I mean, they don't see Tifnumbu as a original Muslim. If we've discussed all of that before, Nabi, and this afternoon or this evening, the news broke. And that is the new thing, the new thing in their political lexicon right now, in the struggle to say they want to save Nigeria. So Tifnumbu submitted a name, and the name is Kabiru Masari. So the journey to Muslim ticket is almost concluded until when Peter Obi showed up with Doyin Okupe. Now, Doyin Okupe, a former PDP stakeholder, yeah, who is also from the southern Nigeria, is now called a placeholder, just like this man beside Tifnumbu. So this is the joint ticket being brought to you by Tifnumbu and Camp, right? And that man is called Kabiru Masari, okay? So that said, now you have a problem. I told you that although this young generation of people, especially these younger people who are like obedient everywhere, they have somehow some of them have felt like if there's going to be any real shaking that can push APC and PDP to the political oblivion as they are dreaming to do as we speak, then that combination must come from a southerner and a northerner being of equity. So on that note, there have been so many young northern mobilizers from northern Nigeria who are expecting that a big week, a big Islamic political heavyweight is going to have to peer Peter Obi. Now today is the deadline for the INEC submission of the names of a candidate. That's when the names of placeholder just popped up now. So as we speak, it is only Atiku who has submitted the name of his own vice president. When Peter Obi now showed up with Doyin Okupe, his own campaign manager, I think it's the DG of Peter Obi campaign. I mean, he's always with him. Then they have to put him in to fill in and meet up the deadline so that they can build more coalition in the coming days and all of that, that we now have a replacement. But for optics, that one don't cause wahala right now. First, in the last few days, the Tifnumbu's men have been saying a vice president can be anything. Muslim ticket is not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. They've been trying to talk it out. I mean, to talk it away. And the obedient camp, they themselves have been like up in arms and all of that with, up against these guys. It could just make us better. But since the whole movement started, they couldn't find any northerner. Now, the obedient are the ones making an explanation to their northern brothers and saying that, no, this is just a placeholder. It's just a temporary placeholder. We are still going to get somebody. So between now and tomorrow, Baba, this social media, I don't know how it could take contain everybody. But let's hear what Tifnumbu had to say when it concerns his own vice president. Yeah, Muslim ticket, APC. Sorted, I believe.
Starts before you now is getting a formidable partner as running mate. What kind of personality are you looking at for and how soon?
I will tell you that. That is my right. It's in my pocketbook.
So what would be the major selling points of Jagaban as we prepare for a nationwide campaign?
That I'm brilliant. I am experienced from private sector to public sector and ready to hit the ground running same day and not mess up the legacy of progress, honesty that is left behind for me and handed over to me by President Muhammadu Buhari. All APC family members to celebrate in a limited manner. We just begin a hard work. The work ahead to win the victory for our party is a hard one, and we will win.
So the explanation right now is to say, oh, hey, no, don't see it that way. Listen, we are in this together. In fact, I'll join you to help you tell them. Are you really paying attention? Of course, Doyin Okupe will not be the vice president, of course. He will eventually, but for optics, have you asked yourselves that if it's a case of a placeholder, how about you find somebody in your movement from northern Nigeria? No, you can tell me it doesn't matter, but you have a lot of explanation to make now, as the whole thing is now becoming like, yeah, we know. Meanwhile, they don't know. And you have 8 months. It's solid months that you still have to keep pushing this, but good luck. Anyway, me, I have an update. And that update is that on Yoruba, Igbimo Majeko Baje, Omo Yoruba mandate, we are going to have to stand on. When this whole thing comes crashing, when everybody begins to meet their own reality, step by step along the way, we will be picking them up for the main thing, which is the self-determination and emancipation of the Yoruba people from this contraption. If a young man in Yoruba land is so passionate about trying to save Nigeria that he doesn't even know it's never put together because of you, the interest that actually mold Nigeria and continue to force it to be this unbearable contraption as it is, where nothing works, that you are toiling every now and then to make happen. If I can get that energy directed at something that will indeed benefit you, to make you understand what is really called a nationhood, a country that doesn't really care for you, and then you want to slug it out to keep it together, whereby you would probably regret it as well, because you know why? Nigeria is put together not for you, not for me, and evidently fighting to keep it same under any kind of disguise is pretty much like a self destruction, so to say. When Peter Obi announced Doyin Okupe, it poured cold water in the hearts of those who have been anticipating for the announcement. No matter what it is, the least they were expecting was that, a Doyin Okupe to hold place. That's not just the only thing, no. It has to do with Tifnumbu's part too. It is what the system will eventually dictate for you that you will have to dance to. But in the long run, those who have projected that the northern Nigeria will be settling down for Atifku, I want you to begin to probably pay attention to that too. I'm not trying to discourage you. There's nothing you cannot do, especially if you are so determined and you feel like you have nothing else to lose. For 8 solid months, with this, I would rather invest my time on getting the reasonable Yorubas, young and old, to pay attention to what Nigeria is really doing to us, and how do we plan to get ourselves pretty much together, united, to defend ourselves, our own loved ones, in our own way, so that we'll probably have to stop lamenting after we stop waiting for the rogues that will publicly tell you we have failed you just before you become the next victim. So the update I'm going to give you this evening, give me a sec. Let me see if I can put this up. Just one moment. Right. So there's something I'm going to show you, and it is what you can check out too. But I'm going to advise that please don't go on there to register or donate anything. Don't do anything. I'm just going to ask you to please watch. So we agreed about 2.5 months ago that we should put all our ideas into a place, develop them, and in a way take this down to our own Yoruba land, engage with our own people. Many of them watching me right now, obedient you are. Like I said, your political, in this our own project, right? Your political ideology, your political association, your religion, association or otherwise, they will mean nothing to us for real. Our job is to make you possibly even see it better, why it is of no use or pretty much like a waste of your life. It is hard and tough to actually take in. People have told me, Mayegun, people need to participate. They need to participate in that politics, to choose people that will believe, that people that believe in Yoruba nation, and so that they can help us push this and that. And I said, I am not daft enough to know that that would have been the best thing if we are dealing with a real people in a real country, I'm talking about the gatekeepers. You'll be pretending if you think you're just going to waltz into the people's homes and tell them and say, listen, what we want you to believe now is that as a Yoruba man, you know, we need you to begin to vote for those who believe in Yoruba nation when you actually have no platform to give to them, when the system will never let you have that. But when the people don't know that, they keep protecting the only available option. Our job is to make it pretty much difficult for the system that continue to tell them that they don't have any other option than what they are being offered. Pretty much like what Peter B is giving to you. Peter B is an option from what the system has to offer you. You know what I mean now? You might be thinking that you created that option for yourself, but you created that option from what the system has to offer you. And therefore, good luck. That is your own political inclination and all of that, political association. But at some point, when we get closer to you better, when we tell you the real reason why, as a Yoruba man, look at me very well, the real reason why you should never waste your life, waste your time, waste your energy or resources, and let Nigeria continue to sap that away from you. We all have a limited time to live. The longest you can actually really live is just the first 40, 45, first 40, 60 years of your life, maybe 40, 50 years of your life. The active part, once you begin to cross over the 60, you will begin to reach your own retirement, and whatever you couldn't do now, you'll be too weak to do them at that time. Or maybe whatever you are never used to right now, to fight for right now, even if you are older, you will still never be able to stand up and do anything because you'll be weaker. So we want to get closer to our people. We want them to make this their own fight. Today they will laugh at it. Today they are trying to, they are confused enough to believe that there is no other way around this mess that Nigeria has plunged everyone into. But we want to make it obvious to them that no, there are options. You just don't want to take it. But there are ways you will take it. And your political association and all of that as we speak will never be the judge or determinant of who we talk to. As a Yoruba man, a Yoruba woman, a Yoruba family, we will make this Yoruba agenda, this Yoruba fest, the Yoruba nation, we'll make it your household conversation. We'll make it your own transport and public transport conversation. Yes, your office conversation, the market conversation, our job. That's why we call it a Yoruba Rescue Fund. So I'm going to share the screen with you quickly. Like I said, please don't sign up yet. Don't do anything. There's nothing much there, but there are some key things there I want to share with you. And just to let you know that in the last few months that we have been working around this, so many so many backtrack delays and all of that. But as I talk to you right now, we have a platform where you can actually begin to make your own contribution. You will sign up. Okay. For example, this is what it looks like when the platform is finally launched. Please don't use it yet. Like I said, please just follow. For those who have been asking, Mayegun, what is going on? How far? Now it's very straightforward. Yoruba Rescue Fund. Now, Yoruba Rescue Fund, that is interpreted as, Igbimo Maje Ko Baje Yoruba.
Yoruba Rescue Fund. Ìgbìmọ̀ Maje Ko Baje Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Do you get that now? This project is consummated on this platform. It is the idea of the members of the Temple of Truth on Mayegun's Diary Political, mostly who are Yorubas, who decided that we have gotten to a stage whereby whatever we think is wrong right there in Yoruba land, if we have to get involved, we have to get involved in unison. And when I say in unison, it simply means if we say they have ruined the type of education they give to our people, to our children, to brainwash them in order to program them for whatever they want them to be in this current Nigeria, we can intervene. We can intervene in that. We can get in by making sure that we get involved in the education process right there to the grassroots. What are we teaching them? Especially our own history that many people have been saying that we should promote more in this regard. So this project is going to have professionals, experts, Yorubas, non-Yorubas who believe in this project, who volunteer to help us develop, policies to help intervene in our own educational process in Western Nigeria, which is the Yoruba land, and everywhere that Yoruba is being spoken in Nigeria of today. That's part one. We have a segment whereby those who are our own security experts, Yorubas, who have ideas on how to keep ourselves safe, technologically and otherwise, so they will have a means of volunteering as well through these projects and even get funding as well. Our plan is to make sure that everything we get involved in, we fund it, everything, okay, including if we have to also pay for the volunteers that are going to be working on ground on this project. In this Yoruba Rescue Fund project on Mayegun's Diary Politico, we also have an area whereby, at least if we say they are impoverishing our people, they are currently, dislocating our farmers, and they have created enough fear that are pretty much underreported. So with this, our own oversight projects, we will be able to actually reach out to our people in the rural areas, mostly, in the area of food security. Yeah, our target is that if we can get up to 1 million interested Yoruba sons and daughters all over the world to come together on this as projected, then that means that we would no longer be in a position of lamentation and complaining. And guess what? The one I haven't told you, which I think I should tell you, when people said that we should possibly allow our people to participate in a fraudulent and then a rigged electoral process, okay, education, electoral education, or should I call it, what do they call it? Electoral education, or electoral awareness, or wherever. We have discovered that if we should tell our people the truth about the whole electoral nonsense, right? Every sweetest part, they're not, too good to be true, part of all those electoral acts and other things. When we begin to pieces all of them in, when we begin to untangle everything, people will see reason why they will never need to waste their energy. Okay. So we also pretty much have the capacity to see through the genuine Yoruba sons and daughters who have their own, they have the spread that could influence political decisions in a way in Yoruba land. Our project will eventually have to reach out to them as the locals that could help us swerve and wave the political decisions and all of that in Yoruba land, including boycotting an election, if that is also a tool that this body will take at some point. But consider this as a humanitarian gesture towards Yoruba self-determination struggle, awareness, and whatever it takes to keep ourselves, safer than what Nigeria and the Yoruba politicians have been pushing before us. Again, now, if you take your time, if you want to sign up, it's called the register. Now, listen to this. If you join as a member, when you register, this is what will happen. Let me see if, yeah. So when you register, it's going to ask for just brief details. Okay, brief details. Anyone can do this. All of you, mama wa, baba wa, ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi tẹ́ wà ní gbogbo French speaking countries, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà ní Benin, tẹ́ ẹ wà ní gbogbo bí tó ti ń sọ French, Faransé, tẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ òyìnbó lọ títí. Nǹkan tí mò ń sọ ni wípé nǹkan tá a fẹnu kò sí wípé ká pa ẹnu wa pọ̀ sójú kan lórí Mayegun's Diary Politico ní orí interest ilẹ̀ wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. So tí ẹ bá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ nígbà tí àti ìṣí o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má ti lọ bẹ̀ ọ́. Náà tẹ́ bá ti darapọ̀ báyìí, nǹkan tó máa kàn béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín lélẹ́yìí o. Ẹ wá username, ẹ lè lo email address yín. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ní email address, kẹ́ create ẹ̀. So ẹ fi orúkọ yín sí, second name yín, ẹ fi email yín sí. Ẹ wá create password tẹ́ máa rántí. Èmi ti ṣe tèmi. gẹ́gẹ́ bí gẹ́gẹ́ bí Baba Gio ní orí apẹpẹ tá wà yìí. So what I'm explaining there right now is that yeah, you go on there, okay? Now this is you signing up. Now when you sign up like this, right, and register, then that means you have created an account for yourself, a profile. Now for myself, which I have done, okay, as a sample to show to you. So if I click login now, my details are still pretty much on there saved, okay? Now, if I log in, it's going to take me straight into my account. So if you sign up, when you sign up, right? Give me a sec. So when you sign up, right? Let's see if it's going to let me in. Okay, let me in now, right? So on your screen, look at it, right? So when you sign up and you have created your own ID, Princess Omoba, then you create a password. That's your profile. So you can put up your profile picture like myself. Look at me. It is like it is interactive as well. Listen, like I said, we are building a community. We are not just building faceless people that just come in. We need to know you. We need to meet you. You need to meet others. You need to know them. You know what I mean now? So when we say, oh, we are going to meet in London, we are going to meet in Lagos, we are going to meet in Akure, we know ourselves. You can do these mobilizations, not just on Facebook, on Twitter or everywhere. You can do it right here in your own community. Yoruba Rescue Team. So when you build that, now you can post things about event that is coming up. You can, you can comment or read comments of other people who want to meet you or know you. Now, the reason why we did this is because we want to create a platform where it's not just about money or whatever now. It is like a community where we can share things. You know what I mean? We can even know ourselves in what do you call it, in a 5-mile radius as Yorubas. Because the intention is that all of us living abroad, yeah, there are so many services that we are also going to be providing for this project. Because we are intending to bring a lot of people. You know, we need to bring ourselves in. I mean, it's not just about money or what have you. Like I said, we need to show the humanitarian part of ourselves in sharing. So this is about love for the motherland, which is the Yoruba land, right? The fatherland. Now, whatever you think you are not really using anymore, personal belongings that you think you are not using anymore, phones, headsets, Walkman, games, for your children that you are not really using anymore, shoes, clothing, kids, adults, what have you. What you need to do for us is that you living abroad and being part of this, you can help us